And welcome to the Great Author, and I'm your host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantz, here on IntellectualRadio.com and our radio station. So I'm glad to be here with you all again to share some more information on book writing. Sometimes I interview authors tonight. I'm not going to interview an author tonight. I am going to talk about book collaborations and how to be a part of them, how to make them work for you, what's all involved, and our next book collaboration that we're doing at Get It Done Publishing Services. So I'll let you know about that as well. But before we get started, let me go through a few preliminaries and say some things about the sponsors that we have and so forth regarding this particular one of our sponsors. And I'm going to break this down because I'm doing a class and have a lot of sponsors in regards to them. So just bear with me here for a moment. We're going to do from the Helping People Win brand. We're doing a network marketing showcase March 9th. 2 to 5, 2 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening or afternoon at Lakeshore Hotel, 4900 South Lakeshore Drive. So we're doing that from 2 to 5, March 9th. That's a Saturday. March 23rd, we're doing an author showcase from 2 to 5, 2 in the afternoon to 5 in the evening or afternoon at the same location, Lakeshore Hotel. That's also under the Helping People Win brand as well. So, and then April 13th, that's a Saturday, we are doing a business showcase. If you want to be a part of some of these showcases in regards to having a platform to speak, any type of showcase that I do, you must speak for at least 10 minutes. You need to do a presentation. Presentations put you in this thing called professional. The more professional you are, the more presentations you need to do, the more money you should be able to put yourself in a position to earn as well. So if you want to be part of some of these showcases, you can get in touch with me and give me a call. Send me an email, drtonygann@gmail.com, DRTONYGANTT, 2 T's, @gmail.com, and let me know if you would like to be part of a future showcase that we have. On April 27th, we had the paid speaker showcase. So we have about 5 to 6 professional speakers doing the showcase as well, doing this presentation. And obviously, these people you can also network with. After the actual showcase is over. We're there only for 3 hours. We do a couple hours of conversations, and then we start networking, meeting people so you can start building relationships. Then we have some things in May. We have another business showcase in May 4th. That's a Saturday as well. Same location, all these in the same spot, Lakeshore Hotel, and they all at the same times, 2 in the afternoon to 5 in the evening or afternoon. Now, under brand, we have some workshops being done on April 13th in the morning, 9 to 1. I am doing a network marketing class for 4 hours, $350 per person. Now, all the showcases, you come in there for free. That's free to the public. Under the Love to Learn brand and also under the Knowing How to Win brands, we're doing those a little different. You have to pay for those. So we're doing April 13th, a class on network marketing, on April 27th from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, hour before the actual other showcase starts. We're doing a how to write a book and publish a book workshop. We're going to do that from 9 to 1. That's April 27th. That's $350 a person. So love to see you there for that. We'll have a little breakfast there served for you too. Now, don't think it'll get bacon, eggs, pancakes, and all that stuff. We're not doing all that, but we're going to make sure you have something good to eat. And then every first Friday, we're doing a business class from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening. So the all day, I feed you breakfast and lunch, and we learn how to be better business people. And then on the second Fridays of every month, we will be doing a real estate class on teaching people how to be a successful real estate professional. And that's from 9 to 6 as well. Those classes are $650 a person. So look forward to seeing you at those as well. So enough of the preliminary, because I did say a lot about that. So it's time for us to get started into what we're going to talk about today. So again, if you want to be part of those, you can just give me a call. Also, if you want to have your business, if you can't make any of our events, I have people from around the country that send me their business cards, and I pass out their business cards at the showcases. So when you come to any of our showcases, you get there, you have about 15, 20 different business cards from different professionals and different industries that you can actually get their business cards. You can start building a relationship with these people. Obviously, many of these people I've already built a relationship with. I'm not all over the country, so I don't want to try to come off that way. I just really have a foothold and have footsteps and footprints, I should say, in about 30, 35 different states and plus the District of Columbia. So I do have people that I work with and communicate with from all over the country that will actually have their send me their business cards in the mail so I can actually have those in there. And then you can build a relationship with those people as well. See, because you're connected with me, I'm connected with them, you get connected with them as well, and take it even further. Whatever business you all can come up with, that's on you all. So if you want your business card in there, get in contact with me. You can email me as well, and I will get back with you, and then I will give you my phone number, and I do follow up, and I do call people back. So if I don't get with you right away, and don't expect me to answer every time you call, because that's not how my life works. But I do get back with people probably within 24 hours. That's my reputation all over the country. So regardless of what time zone you're in, I'm going to get with you. So again, enough of those preliminaries. We're going to talk today about book collaborations. Now, obviously, I'm an advocate on writing your own book, publishing your own book, promoting your own book, selling your own book. But here's the reality: a lot of times, can't write their own. I shouldn't say can't, not like they can't do it. It's just to them, it's overwhelming to write 10,000 words, 20,000 words, 30,000 words or more. They just kind of get lost in that process because it does take a little while. Now, my first book, personally speaking, I wrote it not knowing obviously as much as I know today. I wrote that book in about 2 months. Now I have written some books shorter than that, but I have written even after that. I've written some books that it's taken me longer than that. So I know how much it takes to put these books together. I still have a life. When I first started this, I had these two babies, and then they big babies now, but they don't like me calling them babies, but they still my babies. But I had two younger children, and obviously that was well over 15, 16 years ago, and I was running businesses at that time. I had a lot going on as well. So I understand the magnitude and how this can be an overwhelming experience. That's one reason why I do the classes, and that's one reason why I wrote the books. To show people how to do it. But sometimes, just where their life is, they just can't do it. They're just not in that position. So a lot of times, and this is not an idea that I came up with myself. So don't, I'm not making it seem like it's my own. People have been doing this thing before I even wrote books. They were doing it this way. I call them book collaborations because I like the word collaborate. So that's one reason why I call them book collaborations. But you're actually collaborating. So here's one of the books that I put together called You Can Make It Too. It's under another brand that I have called the Inspire Me Collection. So only thing that goes is under that collection is things that inspire people. Now in this book, I have 12 authors in this book from different walks, different locations. And see, the reason why this is, they all was only required to write about 2,000 word chapter, right? So now 2,000 word chapter, people say, man, that's a lot of words. But when they start writing, trust me, it really isn't that much. I have to tell some people, you wrote too much. You got to cut it down, right? However, this is what I do for people because just think about it. Like when I write a book, in my book, I have, for instance, all the books that I've written, right? So when someone gets my book, they get all the books that I've written, right? I let them know where they are. However, when I sell that book, they only have all the books I've written, right? See, when you're in a collaboration, then when one person sell a book, you're everywhere they are too. So this book goes 12, 11 different places other than where you are. Now you can have 20 people in it, 8 people in it. I've interviewed some people that done the same thing. Now the reason why I do these things and I do them a little bit differently than some other people. Not only I'm about writing books and publishing books and becoming an author, I'm about getting paid. I'm about making some money too, right? I mean, it's cool to have all this stuff. Some people just want the celebrity part of it. I'm not about the celebrity part. I'm about getting paid as well. Because if it ain't making money, it ain't making sense. That's how I look at it. So when I do things for people, when I create platforms, when I actually do things for interviewing, it's all about helping them actually get paid, if not now, sometime in the future. So this is what I want to help you with as well when I come to book collaboration. Now I am going to have another book collaboration going on. Right now we're in March, but I'm going to have another one go on that you'll have to have your 2,000 word chapter to me by the end of May. Also, you have to pay. Now I'm about to go through all the structures of what that entails. Now, again, you need a 2,000 word chapter, but what do you need this 2,000 word chapter on? Because again, the brand is called the Inspired Me Collection, right? And if it's an Inspired Me Collection, that means you should be writing something to inspire other people. Not writing something to inspire other people, then it's going to be pretty difficult for you to actually be involved with this project, right? So the Inspire Me collection goes on and says this, right? Uh, I call them PM and AM, right? And I call them pivotal moments and awakening moments, right? It's all of us, you, me, everybody have these things called pivotal moments. They can happen at 12 years old, they can happen at 22, they can happen at 59, 68. And it doesn't. It's not like you only have one pivotal moment, right? I've had several pivotal moments. I'm getting ready to give you an example about what I mean when I say pivotal moment. When I have a pivotal moment, let's say for instance, my mom, when I was 16 years old, my mom had an aneurysm, a brain aneurysm. And then the result of that brain aneurysm, she was in a coma for about 4 months, about 100 days, somewhere around there. And the result of that aneurysm, the final result is she ended up becoming blind in that time frame. So for years after that, she obviously until her passing, 18 years later, she was blind for that time on. So when she came back home after the 4 months or so, she had to go through some therapy, and then she was able to come home on the weekends. And I remember when she came home, for the first week, she was able to come back home because she had to go through all this therapy because for 100 days she wasn't moving her body, right? So she had to start learn how to eat again, walk again, talk again, all these different things. So I was just so excited that she was back home at 16. My mom was my best friend, my number one cheerleader. So it was a pivotal moment. So when we were sitting on her bed one time talking, because they had to shave all her hair off, and she had a line through her they had to cut through her brain in order to repair the aneurysm. And she's had a walker and all these things at the time, and she was saying how she wasn't the same woman that she was before. And not to me she was the same. I was just happy she was back, but the truth of the matter, she wasn't the same because she wasn't blind 6 months prior to that, right? She was a regular person, if you want to say, walking around, talking, doing everything else. So but she would start crying. My mom started crying. I'm 16 and I was speechless. I had nothing to say. I can say, oh, mom's gonna be okay. I was just speechless. um, and she wasn't really expecting me to say anything at 16, but that bothered me for like a couple, 3 years. I just couldn't understand why I felt so bad that I had nothing to say. And so I came up with this resolution maybe about 5 years after that happened. I'm maybe 21, somewhere around there. I was in the Navy, somewhere in that area. And I said, anytime something negative happened to someone, I would never be caught in a situation not to be able to say something good to them. And it became a catalyst for me. It became a pivotal moment for me. And people look at me now, 30 years later, even in the Navy, some people that knew me in the military, they would say I was pretty encouraging. I always had something good to say. Well, they didn't know, and I didn't really know what I was doing at that time, but there was a pivotal moment for me at that time. So that pivotal moment, actually, everything pretty much, most of the things I do for people is because of that pivotal moment. Regardless of what they're going through, I don't try to solve their problems. I'm not that type of guy. But I want to make sure if they're crying with me, or they confused, they just feel like they want to quit, that I have something good to say. That's one reason why I write books. That's why most, you go to any of my shows are pretty much positive, right? If I post something on Facebook, it's pretty much positive. Why? Because I made this resolution years ago that I would have something good to say. I wouldn't let a person be in my presence and they're going through something or feeling bad or not feeling good. And I couldn't say, well, hey, God bless you, or it's going to work out, or stay encouraged, it's going to be okay. That I wouldn't have something good to say. So that was a pivotal moment for me. But at the same time, it was an awakening moment for me, right? I call pivotal moments PM, like I say, at midnight, but at 12 o'clock midnight, from 11:59 to 12 o'clock. Now it's the AM. Awakening takes place, but it's still dark outside. Still black as it was at 11:59. And so sometimes you get these awakening moments. You may be battling a debilitating disease. You may be actually going through some different relationship issues and all these things. I was going through, what got me on the really took off for me as far as my book writing was when I was going through a separation going through a divorce. As a man, but see who you gonna talk to, right? Nobody think a man's supposed to be devastated, right? Couldn't I mean pretty much later on I realized I had gone through a depression. Couldn't get out the bed. My kids getting to school an hour late because I wouldn't wake them up, in time to drive them to school because I'm just like I can't get out the bed. I mean, I just can't. I'm moving really, really slow. My businesses are suffering, and not knowing at that time I was going through a certain crisis, so to speak, and nobody really talked to me or tried to say anything to, say something good to me to get me going. But then that's when I started journaling. I was journaling before that, but then I started reading my journals and everything, and I started questioning myself on how I felt about myself, why I can't get back, get off the couch, why can't I move faster? It was a pivotal moment. But what it was, it became an awakening moment because out of that sad and depressing experience, I ended up writing books. I ended up writing books on self-esteem. So I ended up writing books on all these different things, and it put me on this path that I've been on for well over 17 years, right? But it put me on a path to go out there and help other people and put it in writing because I was searching for some answers and everything when I couldn't get out the bed and couldn't get off the couch and just couldn't move fast enough and didn't want to call people back in my business because, hey, this is what's going on in my life. But I couldn't tell anybody that because who cares, right? I just needed something to kind of get me there, right? That's why I started writing books. So that particular situation, even though it was bad, it was a pivotal moment or an awakening moment for someone like me. Well, that's the reason why I look for authors to be in the books that I have. I need to let you. When was your pivotal moment? Because you never know, and it's not a week that goes by, or that people don't call me or email me or text me and say, "Man, you saved my life, man. Thanks for I read one of your books, or I heard you speak somewhere, or I watch your show." Every time you come on, man, you come on a couple of times, man. I seen you, man. I remember those words you told me, man, when I was just went through bankruptcy. I remember what you told me, man, that I can bounce back. Now, see, they don't know that was my pivotal moment stuff that made that happen. Well, same thing happened with you. You don't know where your story can take you. I was talking to one of the authors that's in this book, and he got invited because of his story and everything. He was over in Sweden talking about what he went through with the book and everything. And see, this is the power of a collaboration. All the other authors in this book went right along with him to Sweden, even though they didn't know anybody in Sweden. You understand what I'm saying? Even though they may be in another state, because there's people in different states. I try now to make sure that I only have one person representing that state, only because I don't want, 10 people in one state all selling the same book in one city. It's kind of hard for the book to circulate any further than that if everybody's in the same place, right? That's not saying you can't do collaborations that way because I have some companies and some organizations. They may be a real estate company or insurance company or sales organization, and all of the people in that 10 or 12 people want to write a chapter to help them with their business, so I'm going to help them do their collaboration that way as well. Well, so you can do the same thing if you want to actually be involved with a collaboration. See, this is collaboration is co-labor. So you got people that actually are laboring with you to get your message out to places you probably would never go. See, the 11 of these authors that's in this book probably would never go to Sweden. Probably would never even think about going to Sweden. One of the authors have do business in Japan, but the other 11 authors probably would never go to Japan. Not like they couldn't go. They probably would never come up with a reason why they would go because of what they wrote in the book. But this is why I help people with this, and that's why it's called "You Can Make It Too." That's the actual theme of the book. You can make it too. That's the title of every book. Now, what I do with my collaborations, I put "You Can Make It Too," and then it says "Featuring You," chapter 4, whatever chapter you in, right? But the person that's in chapter 8, it has their name on "Featuring Them," chapter 8. So when they selling their 100 copies of their book, it has "Featuring Them." A lot of times you have collaborations, you sharing the cover and the outside with, 8, 10, 12, 15 other people. Well, I'm about making you look good. I tell people all the time, all I do is find stars and just help them shine more. That's all. I just do a little polishing and they shine more than what they've been shining already. That's why I call it a customization or a customized collaboration. I customize your cover for you. You get 100 copies of the book. Now, a lot of collaborations, you don't do that. They don't give you in it. You can buy 10 books and all that. Now, yeah, you pay me to be involved with this thing, right? Now, you don't pay me five, six, $10,000 like a lot of collaborations are. Now, my collaboration fee is very minimal, $1,800. Now, some of you all may say, "Ooh, wait, that's too much money." I give you 100 copies of the book. They all customized with your your cover with your name on it. It has you as a feature, so you can look important to your family, friends, and when you want to go to radio stations and television stations, now it's like it's all about you. Even though the other 11 people, their covers are all about them. This is the main reason why I try to have people in different states, right? Because nobody is getting in the way, right? I realize that when I have two or three people in one spot, then they kind of like walking over each other, right? And that's what I'm trying to prevent. So what you do in my collaboration, you pay 600 down. First, I got to read your manuscript, make sure it's on point. Now, if you use a lot of profanity, I'm letting you know we're gonna take a lot. We're gonna take that out. Now, we might. I know you be trying to emphasize your point, and that's cool. But we'll make it so it won't be just laced with profanity. You understand what I'm saying? We might have to change some words or put a few exclamation points and everything so people can not insinuate what that word was, right? So we may have to do those things. But once you pay $600 down to get started with your 2,000 words. Now it could be 1,800 words and maybe even 2,200 words. You can't send me nothing with 1,000 words. No, 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 that's not enough. And you can't don't send me anything with 4,000 words. That's too much. I need 2,000 words. That's what I'm telling you. About 2,000 word count is what I need, right? And you just find a pivotal moment in your life to help you get started. Now, you pay $600 down. Now you get 100 copies of the book. Now the book retails about $30. You can sell it for $20, whatever you want to sell it for. I just, now you said what happened to the other $1,200? I'm so nice to people. I'll allow you to pay me $100 a month for 12 months. And I don't like calling people asking for no money. So I'm not a collection agency. I'm trying to get you published as a person to become an author. Now, here's why I do this too, because a lot of times people need to see this thing is not as easy as it looks, right? Because see, that's why I tell you all with people selling books. You look around some of your friends and family members that came that said they wrote a book and they wrote a book last year. You don't hear them saying nothing else about it, right? You know why? Because it's a lot of work, right? They think just because they wrote a book, all their friends gonna buy it, all their family gonna buy it. But see, if I tell them that all their friends won't buy their book, they think that I'm trying to hate on their friends, right? I'm trying to hate on their family. I'm trying to hate on their church. I'm saying, listen, I'm telling you, all those people not gonna buy it, right? But when you go into a collaboration, every author has told me, man, I just knew all my was gonna buy it. I just knew my girlfriend was gonna buy my book. I just knew my cousin was gonna buy my book. But see, if I told you that, you would have said, I'm hating on your cousin, right? But I've been around this a long time that it's not that people are mean or wrong. All those people you think gonna buy your book, they're not gonna do it, right? And then so this gives you a test or a taste of what it takes when you come out with your own book. You got practice. See, I'm the practice guy. Practice with me. So when you do it yourself, then you know how to do it. So just say, for instance, once 50 people bought the book from you when you came out with a book collaboration. Now, guess what? When you come out with your own book, you can go back to those 50 people and say, hey, you bought the one where I wrote a chapter. I wrote all 10 chapters in this new book. So you already have a database. One of the simplest ways to sell more books is to go back to people that bought books before. But if you don't have the information, you can't go back to those people and say, hey, buy my book again, because you don't have the information. This is why I'm not particularly crazy about having things sold on websites where you don't get the data. So if you don't get the data, how you going to sell them a book around Christmas? They bought your book in March. Now they need Christmas gifts, but you don't have the information. So you can't say, hey, buy some Christmas gifts. They can't buy 10 books at a time because they forgot about you in December when they actually bought the book in March or January or July. Well, see, that's one reason why when you do this, you understand that, okay, these people bought my book and all these things. Now we don't go on there because I'm not big on this title, all these bestseller and all that. Not, some places they say that's what I am, but I don't get down with all that. I'm not impressed with it because I know how manipulating the whole scenario is. Okay. And I'm just telling you the truth of the matter. However, what I do, I don't have you go to a website and have all your friends go to the website and buy the book for $5 so we can say it's a bestseller. No, that means you won't make any money if all your friends go to our website. I'm going to make the money. You won't make the money, right? It's not about me making money. As a matter of fact, I'm the publisher of the book and I'm not even in the book. You see what I'm saying? I'm the way in the book. All I do is just say some good things about you while writing the introduction to the book saying, read your chapter, right? It's all about the authors and about your story. It's not about me. I don't need to be in your book. I have 20 plus other books that I'm in. So me being in this book would take away from your shine. I'm not trying to take away from your shine. I'm trying to add to your shine. So that's why it's customized with your name as the featured person on the 100 copies you have. Now, see, here's the reality. You could not pay me, right? You can get those books and sell those books and not give me any money. And I'm not chasing you all over the country for that, right? I just try to help people get published. I help people become authors and help people make some money. Because want you to try to get your money back from what you spent in the process. I want you to use the books to pay the fee. See, if I get all the money up front, then I can do that. Some people like to pay me that way too. However, I'm trying to show you how this is a book business. So when you come out with your own book, you can last longer than 3 months or 6 months, right? After you went through all your family and friends and you did all this, posing and everything on social media, right? You still got to sell books. I can show you how to sell books for a decade, right? Consistently. So that's what I know how to do. Now, I may not be, you may not see me posing on social media and all that stuff, but if you know anybody that talk to me, I keep promoting my things and I keep getting them sold. Well, that's what I try to show with people. But most people that come out with a book, they can't do that stuff because, they trying to be showy. And that's cool. But this is why I do the book collaboration so you can get a taste of it up front, right? You can see how it is and see how it works and see can you work with it. Because you might find out that you get into this book collaboration and find out the type of work that you might need to do to get books sold. You might change your mind and say, man, forget all that. Right? I don't think I thought I wanted to do it, but you know what? Because some things we don't know if we want to do it or not until we start doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Once you start doing it, you might say, man, I thought it was a good idea in my mind before I had to actually put my feet to the ground and do the grind, right? Well, that's one reason why I do it too. I want you to get a taste of it before you invest because the reality is even with my book collaborative process, you sell all the books I give you 100 copies and everything. I hope it inspired you to write your book because if you can write 2,000 words, we just say within a month period of time, which you really can. A lot of people do these things in a weekend, and then they call me like that. I'm supposed to be surprised. Man, I wrote that book in like 2 days. I wrote my chapter in 2 days. Yeah, how about if you spend 2 days a month every month? You wrote 12 chapters. You got a book every year. So really, I'm trying to help you provide you some evidence, not my evidence that I wrote books. I'm trying to provide you some evidence that, wait, I wrote a chapter in 2 days or a week. Man, how about if I took out, 10 hours a month and wrote my chapters in my own book? Then this time next year, I can come out with my own book. This is why I do that, right? So again, to provide you evidence. Once you understand that and understand with a book collaboration, now, one thing that I won't do because I have learned to, this is a process that I will only deal with people that have some type of business mentality with doing this, right? You're trying to expand your business, you're trying to expand your brand, you're trying to expand, not just saying, well, I think somebody need to hear my story. Because here's what happens. The people that's going to actually sell the book are people that's trying to expand. They're trying to open up more doors for themselves. They're trying to get into more speaking engagement. They're trying to get more with their business to show that they're more of an expert. They're professional. People that just want to just tell their story, those people, they probably won't sell a copy of the book. They won't do it, like now every person that get involved with me in any capacity, I teach them how to make money. I teach them how to win, right? That's why a lot of my brand call, love to learn and helping people win. I'm going to teach you the work that you need to do. Now, here's the reality. A lot of people will try to give me all this credit because they had all this success by things I told them, right? And they don't realize they give me more credit than I deserve because all they did was did the recipe, right? I told them what to do. This is how you sell books. This is how you go into your market. This is how you go into your church. This is how you go into whatever, right? All your different places. And this is how you get books sold. The people that listen to me, they said, "Oh, it worked." They like telling, like they surprising me. I know it works. I do this all the time, right? Now, the people that don't do well, they don't sell any of the books. They start saying, "Well, I'm gonna sell the book for $10. I'm gonna give the books away to people." And those people don't make any money. And guess who they blame? They blame me. They don't like the color of the book. They don't like what place they were in the book. They should have been in chapter 1, not chapter 5. All type of things, right? Because they don't do what I instruct them to do, right? Because I already done this thing. You don't have to reinvent no wheels. Now, I don't know everything, but one thing I do know, I know how to get these books sold. You understand what I'm saying? And I know how to actually go into your database and go into your market and get books sold and get on the radio and get interviews. That's the reason I teach on this show. But part of the show is so I can have a platform so people can get interviewed because they don't know how to go get interviewed. So I have to go out and find them and say, you want to get interviewed on the radio show? This how bad I got to get, right? I got to go out and find them to get them interviewed. Why? Because they don't know how to do that stuff. But I know all of these things work to help you do some things in the process. If you want to call and ask me a couple of questions, you definitely can. I've been told I talk so much and give so much information, I don't give people a chance to call. So let me give you the number, 708-223-8255. 8953, 708-223-8953 if you want to call. So again, so being involved with a book collaboration is co-laboring with people. And you want to co-labor with people that actually go to work. See, labor means go to work. You don't want to co-labor with people that don't work, because that's not co-laboring. That's you laboring, and they kind of benefit off you laboring. See, if five, it's like I have 12 in my book. I like the number 12. It's a number that I like, right? The number mean authority and order and all those things, right? So I like that number. Okay, now you might like 15, you might like 8, whatever, right? But I try to make sure I have 12. And the reason being, because now with 12 people, really, six of them actually selling the book, they're selling the other six people. And see, the reality, that's not fair if you're not doing your part in this co-laboring thing. It's not for me to make money. I mean, it's not like every time a book sell, I get paid. What I'm saying? I just get paid my fee from putting this all together, getting paying cover people, paying editors, paying printers, and everything. I put out all this money up front in hopes that you pay me back. And I'm gonna give you 12 months to pay you back. I don't look at your credit. I don't know. I don't want to know your credit score. I don't want to know, how much money you have in the bank. I don't care about all that. If you have the desire and want to be productive, I want to help you. Now, obviously, I want you to be honest. Now, I want you to be integrous. It's been people that say, "Oh, I couldn't." That again, I'm having a rough month. I'll double up next month. Hey, it's cool. We cool like that, right? Now, I may not even know you, but I'm gonna trust you. Now, see, think about it. You got a story you want to tell to impact the lives of people. I may not even know you, but I'm gonna trust you financially. And I don't know you. I don't make you sign no documents that you got to give me your firstborn. I'm not gonna report it if you don't pay me. Gonna report you to a credit agency and all these things. Hey, if I don't get paid, I don't get paid. I just lost. Now, some people in my camp tell me all the time, like, man, you shouldn't do that for people. People not right. But somebody got to trust you. So I went on. I guess I step on out there and trust you with your story. I trust you that you want to impact people in the world. I'm not telling you going to impact people. I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I do know you're going to impact somebody. Some people going through maybe cancer right now. They need to hear something. Could you imagine hearing 12 stories how people was down and out, and then they got up and they made it too? And if that person, now you may not have, I don't know if there's one person that read the book and had all 12 stories, right? In their own life. But when you read somebody else's story and say, man, they got through that. I mean, I didn't have that, but they got through that. Man, if they can make it, I can make it too. See, this is why I write the book. It's so much negative out here in the world, negative on social media, and I do my best to try to stay away from. I do my best not to try to elaborate on. I do my best not to even get involved with current events and everything, because those things I can't change. I deal with the person. I deal with people. I want people to get help. I can't help everybody. My life can't help everybody, but your life can help the people my life can't help. And then if you got 11 other people and their lives can help other people that your life can't help. And then we get all these people getting help, and then maybe we can reduce this suicide number, and maybe we can reduce this drug addicted number, and all these other numbers that's hindering people and hurting people in their persons, in their minds, in their heart. This is why I do the book. Yeah, okay. You can get some notoriety. Yes, you can get some little celebrity. Yeah, all those things. Yeah, this is work for me, right? Because it takes me away from some of my other things. And I shouldn't say take it away, because I just know how to manage my tasks pretty well. And I have a team of people to help me do these things. But I want to help you get your story out there. Now, if you want help, again, I give people 2 months. This is March. This is the only time I'm doing this collaboration, because I did something on collaborations just briefly a couple of about a couple of months ago. However, I'm doing this now, this elaborate form. Now, even if you don't get involved with my collaboration, right? You may find someone near you, someone that you may like better. They may look like you, act like you, talk like you, or whatever, right? You may like them better and might want them to actually be a part of their collaboration. It's still good to be a part of their collaborations. You still need you some books. You can't walk around with one book talking about I wrote a book and go over to this website and buy it. Then when your book come out, how you gonna go back to these people you just might bump into at an event, right? So this is why you need your own. Understand that this is a business. This is a book business. That's what this is. And somebody need to tell you. It's not all that celebrity thing, and think because a pastor of a church, or think that because you the president of your block club, or think because you are high up in your sorority or fraternity, or everybody knew you in the neighborhood, and think those things is gonna help you sell a lot of books. I'm telling you, everybody gonna tap out. I teach that in business all the time. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna what I call tap out. You're gonna hit a brick wall. What do I mean? All your family and friends, you done already sold and told them everything you do. Now, how you gonna get to the other billions or millions of people out here? Because they are, you're gonna have to learn how to make them your friends. You know what I'm saying? Some of them you might have to make them like your family, right? Because of the fact that you had to get back out there. Well, that's one thing about learning how to actually get involved with collaborations. One some of the best things I do, like think about this radio show, I'm collaborating with IntellectualRadio.com. A lot of people say, man, you can do a podcast. So why would I do that? I'm good on, I like to collaborate. I know how to collaborate with people. I don't have their friends per se, but because I'm on their station, I get to talk to their friends too. Co-laboring. They're good at what they do. I'm good at what I do, right? So you co-labor with people, right? That's how you form, another word we call partnerships. Not to quite the same in extensively, but that's what co-laboring means. So you need to get around people that run. A few years ago, when I ran the marathon, I ran the marathon and I was saying for a few years I wanted to run the marathons. I do like running. So I ran this marathon. Man, that thing was grueling, right? But as I was running, it was more people standing on the side cheering folks on than who was actually running. I think in the time I ran, they said about 45,000 people, right? The Chicago Marathon, right? But they said it was over 1 million people on the streets watching. Now, from what I understand, 1 million is more than 45,000, right? Well, see, what I realized, that's just using that as an example. I have learned, right? And I try to always put myself in this position to run with runners. I try to co-labor, run with the people that's running. I don't try to run with the people that's sitting on the side, cheering, drinking their favorite beverage in their nice chair out there, right? That's not who I try to run with. I try to run with runners. That's why I look for productivity. That's why I ask people. They say, "Why don't you try to find people with bestsellers and all this stuff and all these different titles and everything?" I tell people, I'm not looking for popular people. I'm looking for productive people. Are you productive? If you're productive, maybe I can do something with you or do something for you or do something to help you or vice versa, right? Because you're productive, you're producing something. Now, here's something for you. If you want to get to the next level, want to do some things in your life, don't hang around people that can't produce. If they can't produce, if they producing a bunch of nothing, you hanging around with them gonna help you produce a bunch of nothing. If you get around people that know how to produce things and produce results and do it consistently, man, you want to make those people like your best friends. I'm telling you, you want to hang out with those people. You want to learn their habits, learn their ways, learn their patterns, learn their tendencies. Why? So that you can produce more things in your life. Because if you don't produce things in your life a lot, even if you meet them today, you won't be with them tomorrow. Because producers produce. I'm a producer, right? I've been a producer for a long time. People that know me, this is what I do. I go out there and get it done. I go to work. I make it happen. Now keep in mind, I still do everything else in my life too. I got a life just like you. I got a social life just like you. I got relationships just like you. I got I like have fun just like you. Well, now I don't know what type of fun you like to have, but anyway, I have fun in my own life just like anybody else, right? However, when it comes to going to work and being purposeful, I may not be popular, but I'm telling you, man, I'm on purpose. I do things on purpose. Matter of fact, my media company is called Full of Purpose Media, which is what this show that I do is under my media umbrella, right? That's attached to this station. Okay, so I'm full of purpose. You want to hang around with those type of people. You want to get around with those people. That's why I like the word collaborations, co-labor. Find people that go to work, not find people that sitting around talking about all the stuff they're gonna do for the next 5 years. Talking about, I'm good on, I'm good with people say, hey, we're gonna pray. Hey, I'm good with that. Let's get down with that too. And after we pray, let's get up and go to work. You understand what I'm saying? Let's break the huddle and let's call the play. Let's execute what we plan on doing. Well, you got to get around those type of people. And I'm gonna tell you now, I've been doing this for a long time. And I'm just gonna be honest and frank with you, like I always am. There's a whole lot of people that's talking a whole lot and doing a whole little, right? And you got to try to stay away from that group. You got to find people that's doing it. When you look up and see them on Tuesday, they doing it. You catch them on Saturday, they're doing it. You got to find people that's going to work, right? Because it would help you get better. Sharp people will help sharp people get sharper. If you want to get sharper than you are, you need to get around sharp people to help you get sharp. Now, you can't bring your dull self with your dull ways, your dull attitude, your dull thinking, your dull conversation in the midst of sharp people. Now, if you're gonna stay around them long enough, you're gonna get sharp and your conversation gonna change. Your ways gonna change. You're gonna start getting sharp. Now, the scripture in the Bible, I'm no theologian, but it says iron sharpens iron, right? Well, you got to be iron for you to sharpen somebody else. You get what I'm saying? And you have to be able to take the fact that they're sharpening you. So I have learned, because I was one of these people, I would hang around people that were dull. They weren't sharpening me. I was doing my need sharpen them, but the more I kept rubbing up against them, I kept getting duller and duller and duller. Then my thinking started sounding like they're thinking, right? I started thinking like them, sounding like them, walking like them, talking like them, acting like them, being like them, right? Because they were dull. Then my life started looking dull. Everything started looking gray. My son started fading. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I was around dull people. So I had to get back in line, right? And say, I'm a producer. Let me go produce. And if people can't hang with me, it's cool. We still friends from a distance. Don't worry about it. We all good, right? You don't want to produce, I want to produce. That's all good, right? We can still shake hands, maybe go hang out once or twice, in a year or so, right? But that's about all I got for you because I'm a producer. So I'm saying to you, find you some people and find your producer. Find you a mentor, right? Get your mentor. Now, everybody on TV, people told me, man, I see you, man. You my mentor. Man, I don't know you, right? I mean, how we mentors? Because let me share something with you about mentors. The first two letters in the word mentor is me. When you have a mentor, we should say we should go to your mentor and say, do you know him or her? And your mentor, because your mentor knows me, right? That's what you should say. That's why me. And if you a mentor, you should know your mentoree or mentee or whatever people call. But it's ME in that too. See, a mentor and a mentoree, they know each other. They know what's going on with each other. You don't have a mentor on TV. That may be an inspiration, but it's not a mentor. You can talk about that guy on TV, my mentor, that lady, my mentor. No, they just inspiration. They don't know you, right? So because the mentor is going to pour into you, right? What they have in them. Me on this particular program, people watch me on this particular program. I didn't have requests, man. You need to do more days. You need to be on there every day of the week. No, I don't need to be on every day of the week, right? I just added a third show that's be on Sundays, and I have two other hosts. One of the persons I interviewed her on her book and everything. She's gonna be one of our other hosts, and this is a show that I created. She's gonna be doing that on Wednesdays, and I got another show that I created. Another guy, he's gonna be doing that on Tuesdays, right? Well, I'm not gonna be doing it. They're hosting those shows. I just created the shows. Well, that's about all. That's about as close as I can get to doing 5 days a week. And I got a couple other things like that going on. But the reason why I'm telling you that is that you have to get around people so that you can get sharper because their mentor will pour into you, right? And if you are not close enough to be poured into, how that's your mentor. And your mentor is teaching you how to be a mentor. So that means there should be some people that you are mentoring too, because you should be pouring into other people like your mentors is pouring into you. Now, see, some people don't know how to be a mentor, and some people don't know how to be a mentoree. So you building a relationship there. You're not building a relationship just trying to, your mentor has a nice car, and you say, well, I'm gonna learn how to get a car like him or her, and then after you get the car, you forget about the mentor. Or if you're the mentor, you just gonna see how many times they can take you out to dinner after you get all the dinners out of them. Then you don't need them no more. That's not how this go. Okay, that's not how mentor and mentorship. That's not how this thing get down, right? So you have to act. You're building a relationship, and guess how long the relationship lasts? It should last until one of you all have to leave the earth realm. That's a real relationship with a mentor and mentoree, right? That means 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Now, the only reason these relationships should break up, I mean, because y'all should have a mutual respect because you all become friends. However, somebody should die out. That's the only way they should get out of the relationship, right? Because it was time for them to leave the earth realm. Unfortunately, a lot of times it don't work that way because people don't know how to be a mentor and they don't know how to be a mentoree, right? So that's one reason why it's imperative that, again, that's why I like the word co-labor. You need to be with people that run. You need to know that you may not know, like when you go into a collaboration book, you may not know all the other 11 authors, right? I know them better than you know them in most cases, right? Because I've conversed with them numerous times before they put their things in the books, before they story get in the book. Even though it's a lot of reading for me, I have to read their story to see if it's applicable and see if maybe they told indulge or use some people's names, if they get permission to use that name. 'Cause I don't need nobody coming back trying to sue me, right? Because you use somebody's name you didn't get permission from, right? So I have to make sure those things are intact because I don't want to be liable for some stories that's going on. If something happened to them, they trying to use this moment to help educate people and help them. I don't need them using things that I'll be liable for. So we have to talk. So I know those people a little bit better than you probably would know them. But then trust that I know them, right? Know them to a certain degree to have their story in the book, right? Well, that means that you can market. It's just easier to market a book with a collaboration compared to this one book, right? See, you can say, for instance, just say, for instance, you wrote a book, and just say, for instance, your story is you were adopted, okay, and you adopted, okay. So that was your story, but somebody else's story in the book was they went through a bad divorce, right? Then another person's story was they had illness, right? So then, with all that said, you said, "Well, I never had those problems." Well, for you to market the book, the way for you to market the book, you can say, "Hey, I'm gonna market into areas that people have this particular debilitating disease because there's a story in there about how this person got over that, right?" Well, because that story is there, you can market to that area, even though you didn't live the you didn't write the story, but it's in the same book that you're in. So you can go into 11 different markets, 11 different stories, and you can actually sell more books and get your name more out there because of somebody else's story in your book. See, when I write my one book, it's all pretty much my one story. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I have to market it, I have to market certain chapters, as far as my answers. But when you're in a collaboration book, somebody gave you 11 stories in 11 different places in the country, or wherever they are, and you could just market those stories. To me, that's an awesome way to do things. So if you want to be part of the collaboration, because my time is running a little thin, if you want to be part of the collaboration, you can contact me at drtonygan@gmail.com. DrTonyGant as in top, T as in top, and that's at gmail.com. So you can email me there and say, "Hey, man, I want to talk to you about being part of the collaboration." I'm probably going to do two this year. I'm going to do one that come out. I need their information by May. That book will come out sometime July, August, right in the after the end of the hot part of the summer. And then the next one we'll start in probably August, and then that book will come out right around November, December. So obviously, if I'm trying not to have five people in one state. Once I get somebody out of that state, it's probably much a done deal for me out of that state. So if you want to be part of the collaboration, you need to get with me, start saving your money up. And then again, you do what I instruct you. It won't be easy. It will be simple. It won't be easy. And then so you can get books sold, excuse me, so you can get your money back from what you put into the project. Because you got to make money too, right? That's what this is all about. It's not about having your name on a book and it's sitting in the garage, right? A box of books sitting in the garage. So that's how that works. So again, it'd be $600 down. Once you pay that with your manuscript, then absolutely you get the copies of the book. Once the book is released, you get 100 copies of the book. You start promoting the book, and then 30 days after that, after you get the copies of the book, is when you start paying me the $100 a month, right? You can send it as some people they send it all type of ways, electronic, and I don't have to tell them nothing. They just send it, right? Because that's the type of relationship we're gonna build here. Now one time I used to call and try to remind people, and I'm like, man, I didn't sign up to be a bill collector. Now I just signed up to help you and trust you on getting something done. So I just stopped calling people because I just couldn't do that anymore. It wasn't good for me, right? So people they'd send it a check, they'd send me money orders, they'd send, whatever they send it, and they send it when they have it in that month. I'm good with that, right? I work with people, and anybody tell you that done any business with me, know that I work with you, right? Because especially if you're trying to get your story out and help other people, that's what I do. So I would love to have you part of it. I'd love to talk to you about it. Send me an email. I get back with you as quickly as I can. I don't send emails at midnight, so if you're waiting on me to send you something at midnight, you're not going to get it. I do have working hours, and I make sure I try to stay in those parameters, right? If you send me something at 8 o'clock on a Thursday evening Central Time, I'm not going to get back with you at 8 o'clock. I'll be on here. You see me on here. I won't be on there. I won't be sending you no texts, and I won't be sending you no emails, right? Because I'll be on here doing the shows. So I look forward. Again, I think my time is running short. How much I'm fine. Oh, okay, I got about 5 more minutes. So again, being a part of a collaborative effort is that you're getting with other people, you're getting your feet wet, you're getting a taste of this thing, right? Again, it's good to have your name on something. It's good to actually be doing something, getting your story out, finding the time when you got knocked down and you got back up. That's what this you can make it two book is all about. When was a time in your life? Now I know you had about 50 of them, because we all got a bunch of them, but I don't need all 50 in the story. I just need one. Again, it could be when you were 21. It can be when you were 41. It could be when you were 10. I don't, whatever story that it was your pivotal moment that made you come to a place to say, hey, you know what? I got knocked down, but out of this experience is when I grew up or I got bigger, right? You might have went to, had an unfortunate incident and end up going to jail or something, right? Prison, then got out, right? That was your pivotal moment, right? You might have actually, like I say, got married and got divorced, right? Pivotal moment. You might have had a job and lost it. Pivotal moment. You might have, went had everything hound a hog and then foreclosure. Everything was taken from you. Got kicked out the neighborhood, out the golf club, and all that type of stuff, right? No, don't think that your story is not big enough to help somebody with their life. There's a lot of people out here looking for something to help them get inspired. Yeah, they go to the inspire. That's why you see people put up quotes and posts because they're trying to, inspire people. Maybe that same thing resonated with them and inspired them. So they're trying to inspire other people, right? Because hey, this thing helped me look at today a better day. Maybe it helped you too. Well, that's the same thing that I do in this book called "You Can Make It Too." It's the same thing. It's that instead of you getting a quote on a social media thing, you get a whole 2,000 words by 12 different people how they got knocked down, they got back up. Man, how you gonna read 12 different stories how somebody got knocked down and how they got back up and not be inspired by at least one of them? Because I know that when I read these stories, I'm like, man, that's rough. I didn't have that go on in my life, but they made it through that. I mean, they got pregnant early and, at 14, 15 years old. And, or, sometimes people go through some unfortunate situations from molestation and rape and all those different things. And then when you look at them at 35, 40, 50 years old, and you like, man, that happened to you because they had bounced back. They used that to empower them. It was a pivotal moment and they used those things to empower them. I was a kid that couldn't read at 10 years old. I mean, start crying every time I started reading because I couldn't read. I said my eyes were hurting, but I just couldn't read, right? And I sound terrible at the time. Who would have thought 30 years later I'd be the PhD and written a bunch of books and help a lot of other people do it? Because I was a kid that couldn't read. So that was my pivotal moment. See, things like that, because then I started reading sports things, right? Pivotal moments so I can get better, right? Same thing happened to you. You have some pivotal moments that happen to you too. You had some times where you weren't a good friend. Yeah, you. I know you said no, that never happened to me. Yeah, you had sometimes you wasn't a good person. Sometimes that you might have got connected and got hooked on had some addictive behaviors, but that may not be you today. All of us got some X's in our life, not people. I'm talking about us. We was an X this, X that, X this, and we may not be that anymore. Well, those are the people I'm looking for that have went from being an X something to being something else better than that, and then how they got through that. And you can do that in 2,000 words. So I'd love to help you and love for you to be a part of that. So just to give you a rundown on the events again, we got an event March 9th in the Chicagoland area. Hopefully you can make it. And if you ever come to Chicago, I got events going on all the time. So you can come, you might want to come to the events. You might want to see me. But no, probably not. You probably want to come to the events though. So if you come to Chicago, you can come check it out. March 9th. That's a Saturday, 2 afternoon, 5 in the evening. That's a network marketing showcase. I have about 5 or 6 people showcasing and showing you no recruiting. So don't worry about that. You can come in there with your guards down because nobody gonna recruit you to do nothing, right? But they're gonna show you other ways on how you can earn some extra additional money part time in a home based business. That's March 9th, 2 to 5. March 23rd, Saturday, that's an author showcase. I have some authors presenting on their books and everything, so you can kind of get a peek and listen to what's in the book before you purchase it. You might listen to it, I don't think I want that. But you might listen to it and say, woo, I think I want that. I think I want a bunch of copies of that. And then April 13th, Saturday, we're doing a business showcase. And then also we're doing the class on April 13th in the morning, the multi-level marketing class from 9 to 1. And then on April 27th, we're doing the speaker showcase. April 27th in the morning, I'm doing the how to write and publish a book from 9 to 1. And the speaker showcase is going from 2 to 5. So I would change my clothes and then be ready to do my thing for the second part. Then May 4th, you got the public speaking class from 9 to 1. And then we're going to have the business showcase from 2 to 5. And then on May 18th, we got the paid speaker showcase, paid speaker class from 9 to 1. And then we have the author showcase from 2 to 5. So, I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of people to help. I said I was going to try to help 1,000 in 2019. So this is part of what I do to make that happen. So I enjoyed my time with you all. Hopefully you learned some things about. Hopefully I get a chance to talk to you. And keep in mind that great authors aren't born; they're made. I'll see you next time.